Welcome to another episode of Inside Eastern Utah. I'm your host, Scottie Draper, and we are here today to talk about the Castle Valley Pageant. It is coming around again this year, and there has been a lot of work that has been put into it, and we have three gentlemen joining us today to talk all about it. So thank you all for joining us, and we're going to let you introduce yourselves and talk about your involvement, so we'll start with you.
My name is Gordon Bennett, and I'm the second counselor in the pageant presidency. I take care of all the paperwork, basically, the ushers, the security, missionary involvement, try to involve them. And basically, we all work together, but that's my basic assignments at this point. And then I'm also in the pageant for 4 nights.
Fantastic. And what about you, Brad?
Brad Giles, president of the Castle Valley Pageant. I have main responsibility for the production itself, and I'm thankful for these 2 counselors who helped me immensely. And I am also in the pageant 8 nights.
Fantastic. And Ray?
Ray Guymon. I'm the first counselor in the Castle Valley Pageant. And I primarily work with facilities on site to make sure they're ready and in good shape for the pageant.
Fantastic. And Gordon and Brad, you have been involved for many, many years, and now you roped Ray into it to help you out a bit. Can you walk us a bit through the history of the Castle Valley Pageant?
The pageant was written by Montel Seeley back in the late 70s as part of a award road show. And then the Castle Stake took it on from there, and eventually the Fair and Stake and the Huntington Stake. And in the early 1990s, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints took us in as one of the 7 pageants that the church sponsors. And since then, we have been as part of that church pageant season.
Fantastic. And the production is every other year, is that correct?
Yeah, about 10 years ago, we went to every other year. We're on the even years.
Yes, because it is a big production. You guys might go crazy if you had to do it every single year. You'd be run ragged. So this year, it's going to be August 2nd through the 4th, as well as the 7th through the 11th. Can you tell people what they can expect when they come out on those nights?
Well, at 6:30 on the hill at the pageant site, we have a Pioneer Village. There are numerous activities that pioneers would have done. We have rug making, we have milking a cow, ice cream churning, honey candy making, Dutch oven cooking, horseshoeing, milking a cow, prairie diamonds. If you're familiar with what a prairie diamond is, it's a ring made from a horseshoe nail. And as the pioneers came across the prairies, if 2 fell in love, they obviously didn't have access to a jewelry store, so they would take a horseshoe nail and bend it to fit the ring finger, and the head of the nail acted
would be
as
like
the diamond.
a diamond.
Yes.
Oh, great.
So anyone who wants one of those can go get one of those. We give buggy rides, carriage rides. What else do we do that I'm forgetting? Rope making.
So much.
Rope making, yeah.
You can
doll
go
making.
doll making. You can go rope a steer. They show you how to rope a steer. Just a lot of different
So you
things.
definitely want to get there early because 6:30 is really when the fun kicks off.
That's correct. And then we ask the audience then to be in their seats around 8:30. The Pioneer Village closes at that time, and then the cast is introduced, and we go up into the audience and talk to the audience. And then at about 8:40, we start with the pageant proper starts with an introduction and a welcome and an opening prayer. And then we excuse the cast at that time to go get set for the pageant. And then we have a rousing flag ceremony with a national anthem. And then as soon as that flag ceremony is finished, the pageant starts.
Gets underway. And it takes a lot of people to make this possible. Can you tell me a bit about how many people are involved from start to finish? Gosh, there's probably too many to count, but it's certainly a lot of people get involved to make this possible.
Beforehand, how many people have you had up there helping you from time to time prepare the site?
We've had a number of groups come, and the thing that I thought was the nicest. We had a large, probably 150 youth that came
Wow.
and helped clean the site, get rid of any weeds or debris, and it was just a great activity for the youth.
Fantastic. And then a lot of people are in the actual pageant, a lot of people working behind the scenes. Now we're talking about the site. If people haven't been before, where can they find the pageant?
If you're coming from the north, head down Highway 10 until just before Castledale. There's the Highway 29 turnoff to Orangeville and Joes Valley. Turn there, and then about a mile after the Emory High School is Desby Dove Road to your right. And you go up Desby Dove Road about 7 miles, and you'll run right into the pageant site.
Fantastic. And can people expect any charge? I know you guys said you'll have food beforehand. Is there any charge for the food or for the entrance into the pageant?
The pageant's free, parking is free. We do have a concession stand available pre-pageant, and that is charged, and the money goes to help the youth of the three communities, Huntington, Castledale, and Farron, with supplies for their camping and camps, the scouts and the young women. The food in the pageant, you get a small sample for free. There is water available through the bottled water through the concessions area that you can purchase. But people that come and visit we would probably want to bring a light coat, because once we get started in the pageant, it's dark, and there is a chance that it will get a little chilly. Sometimes we get rain, showers, but we keep going. Prepare that way. But,
yes.
Yeah, pretty much everything's free.
Fantastic. And is there anything about the Castle Valley pageant specifically that makes it unique or different from other pageants throughout the state?
Yes, there's lots of dirt, and the animals is what makes it unique, the horses and so on.
It's a unique setting.
It is.
Very unique setting.
And have you always hosted it at that same site there since you guys started?
The first 2 years it was actually hosted in Castledale. And eventually Montel Seeley, through some very guided footsteps, came across the present pageant site back in the early 80s. And it has been held at that site ever since.
Fantastic. Now, for people that haven't been to the pageant before, what is something you can tell them to expect? I mean, it's like we said, it's very unique. It's a fun event. If people haven't been before and you were just telling someone that didn't know anything about it, what would you tell them to, kind of encourage them to make their way out?
The pageant starts with the calling by the LDS prophet Brigham Young to send settlers from Sanpete Valley to the Castle Valley. And that's where it starts, and we follow 5 families making the decision to come over the mountain, and their trek over the mountain, and their original settling of the valley. And so it's the settling of Castle Valley and how that took part and took place. And people will laugh, they will cry. It's just a gamut of emotions, and it's very enjoyable.
So it's kind of like a history lesson, but way more fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, before I let you guys go, is there anything else you want to mention before we close? Besides, come on out.
Come on out, invite your friends. If you've been there before, you know what to expect. Invite your friends. And there's a good spirit on the hill. We think it's a very sacred site, a site that you will enjoy being at and feel accepted, friendly, lots of smiles.
Of course.
Come
It's a
to
great
plan
place.
Plan on having fun.
Fantastic. Yes, so once again, it's going to be August 2nd through the 4th, as well as the 7th through the 11th. Get there at 6:30, the Pioneer Village. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on. Pageant gets started around 8:30 each evening. Bring a coat, bring your friends, bring your family, and come out for a fun night.
Correct.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for joining us today. And if you want more information, you can visit pageants.lds.org. There's more information on there. And stay tuned. We're going to talk more about events happening in Emory County coming up next.